And I'm sitting here with Chef Bernard, and we're doing a chef app. This app is geared for chefs to give that chef experience to ordinary people. So I just want to get a couple questions. All right, if you got to a residence and the food was spoiled or not there when you arrived, what could you do in that situation, and what would you charge if you had to go to the store and get the food and stuff?
You would probably charge the food plus your time, the time that you need to spend to go get the right product.
And would that be by minute or by flat fee?
I would do it in increments, in 15-minute increments.
Okay, and what do you think every chef should be required to have? Like what seasonings or what type of cookware?
That really depends on what cuisine you're doing, because basil is not necessarily something that you'd have every day, but if you're doing Thai cuisine, then you can't do without it.
Do without basil. Mm-hmm. So are you saying like every chef, if a chef comes to your house, so you know it's kind of like say Uber for chefs. Mm-hmm. So it'd be chefs in your area. So if I hit if a chef comes to your house, what do you think every chef should be required to have? Like a certain kind of seasoned stainless cookware, because everybody can't eat with the
that's hard. Wow, let me think about that one. Go give me something else and come
okay.
back to that.
If you did get to somebody's house, mm-hmm. and it needed to be cleaned, mm-hmm. more than how much clean would you be willing to give before you started charging?
10 minutes, maybe. Straighten up. It was not a cleaning. It was like sanitizing.
So you're willing to do straighten up for free?
Yeah, straighten up.
But if you had to wash dishes,
because I would have to organize anyway. I mean, if I have to come in and move your pan out of the way so I can put my pot, or move stuff out of the way to put my cutting board. So that's
not necessarily something you would charge for, or something that you have to do.
Not if I have to organize. That's just moving stuff away so I can get situated.
Okay.
If there's a sink full of dishes and I need, then that's something else.
Okay. Do you think the level of pay should reflect the skill level of the chef?
Yes.
Definitely. Do you think a rating system should reflect the chef's pay?
Yes. And
do you think if a chef has a title, should that reflect the chef pay?
No.
If a chef goes to school and is an executive chef versus a sous chef, do you think that should reflect their pay?
Yeah, that's a level of competence and a level of certification. That's not a title. I can tell you I'm president of the United States. That's not true.
Right.
But I can tell you I'm the director of this culinary program. That's a title, and that's true.
Okay.
And it's verifiable.
Okay.
And so the title isn't as important as verifiable skill sets. Documented education, verifiable skill sets.
Okay. Do you think a chef that is a very good cook that doesn't have the documentation, should they get paid the same as someone who does have the documentation?
Well, that's hard. That if you can do the work, you can do the work. The hard part, the difference between certification and education and not having, is the ability to market yourself easily. So, I can tell you that I'm a great cook and I have no credentials, no academic backing, but you taste my food, you're like, wow, that's great. And I can tell you I'm this, that, and the other, but I can't cook well. And you're like, well, I'm not paying for that. So you have to do it. There's got to be a balance between what the person can do, credentialing, and that's why if you're a bride, you do a tasting. If you do a catered event, you do a tasting. You may do a sampling of somebody's menu. You have reviews and such things. You can't just put it all on one thing and say that's it.
Right. Okay. Do you think every chef should have some kind of culinary schooling?
Certainly. I'm in the business of education, so why you wouldn't want your doctors not to be well educated when they go around and do it, and they do their thing, because what they do could impact your health. Same thing for me. I could feed you bad food and you could be in the hospital or worse.
And that comes to my next question. I was going to ask you, what are some of the issues that you think this app could solve? and you just touched on a couple of them. People that just don't know healthy eating. You understand, like, you know, you order a chef and a chef comes to your house. That's one of the things they can do is educate you on how you're cooking your food, how you prepare it, what to eat. Okay, so what are some of the other issues that you think that this app could help solve?
I don't know. I mean, you can narrow down what you want to eat and who can provide that for you. So if you wanted Thai cuisine, Chinese cuisine, if you wanted, you know, American regional type of cuisine, if you wanted French cooking, if you wanted somebody to bake, if you had a special diet like pescatarian, you're allergic to pork, you're allergic to nuts, or you don't eat pork, or you don't eat dairy, something
and
like
as a chef, would you rather Uber Eats, which takes about 45 minutes to an hour, or would you prefer a chef to come cook for you?
It would depend on a lot of factors. How much time I have, you know, how special the occasion is.
Which gives me to my next question. If you could cook a meal for someone with travel time included under an hour, would you do it for $20?
Yeah.
You would do it? Wow, that is good to know. How many days out of the year do you think you could donate your time for like charitable things such as maybe cooking for homeless?
Oh, that's hard to say. I mean, you find time for the things that are important to you. So that's very hard to say.
If this app had you do say cook for the elderly, but it was at half price of what you're usually cooking for, how many times a day would you be willing to do that?
Again, it depends on, you know, what you're doing and when you do it and how much effort has to go into it. If I have to come up with everything from scratch and do the cooking and do the traveling, that's one thing. If someone has done the legwork and they just need my expertise to help facilitate preparing the meals for the elderly, it's a totally different thing. So you got to take it in context.
Okay, so do you think preparing something a customer already has should cost less than preparing one of your specialty meals?
What do you mean something someone has?
Like if somebody puts an order in and says, "Hey, I got some fish and rice. I already have the stuff, and I just want you to come here and cook it for me." Versus,
I don't know that I would do that though, because I'm assuming responsibility. The moment I lay my hands on it, it's my dish. So I don't know. Did you purchase the fish from a reputable source? Is the fish fresh? You know, there are a lot of things that once I touch it, that's
your reputation. So
but it's not just reputation. Reputation but you know, reputation will be second. First thing that I'd be concerned with is your health, because if I'm cooking something and you just said a few minutes ago, you don't know how the pieces of the health, you know, how do
if you got there and the food was bad or something.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
I don't have chain of custody of that. I can't attest to the wholesomeness.
So then, saying that a chef that would versus you, a chef that would not really be into that, would you charge more for one of your specialty meals, or for your knowledge, saying, "Hey, look, I'm not touching your food"?
I would be out there just like any other business person. Here's my mousetrap. Here's what the price is. Here's all the things that went into getting that there. Here's my education. Here's my credentials. Here's my experience, and here's my product. And this is free market. So somebody will gravitate toward that, and somebody will like, no, I won't.
If someone wants a meal that will take a few hours, like a Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving, what do you think is fair? A flat rate or charge by the hour?
Charged by a flat rate.
A flat rate?
Flat rate.
And what do you think approximately for you to come into somebody's home and for you to do your chef meal?
But you can't do that. Some people's meal is a smoked turkey that takes 2-3 days, or ribs that take a couple of days. And some people's meal is a vegetarian entree. Somebody may just want you to warm them up some soup. So you can't. There is no easy answer to what you're asking. Everything has to have a human component where you interact with the guest, figure out what he or she needs, and then agree to on a price for providing their service.
Are there any questions that I didn't ask that I should ask?
No, you did pretty thorough.
Pretty thorough. For this chef experience, would this be something you would replace your job with, or more of a hobby thing?
Hobby.
A hobby.
Yeah.
So like, it's kind of like Uber. You say, you pull up this chef app, and the chefs that appear in your area, whoever signed up to that app that's chefing, or we're allowing great cooks.
Mm-hmm.
You pull one up in your area, and you get there, you can cook a meal with under 30 minutes. You can make, if somebody wants a hamburger,
Mm-hmm.
or somebody wants a chef to come with their stuff
Mm-hmm.
to their job and cook for them,
Mm-hmm.
is what do you think per person? Like, say, hey, I ordered a chef, but now I have 4 people I want you to cook for versus me. So how much extra per plate do you charge?
Your logistics are off, because I wouldn't be on my way to your place with one hamburger patty and you'd be like, oh, by the way, there's 5 more people. I wouldn't do that. So you need to have a window that.
So they would put this in. That would be something in the app before you got there as a chef.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the other things that would make the chef experience speedy but good? Like, knowing what a person wants is one thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know what they want already, so you can get your stuff together. What else could make the experience quicker for the chef to get there and to make it happen?
Just a set menu, so that just a set menu would probably be the most helpful. I gotta go to that.
Okay. Hey, man, I appreciate you so much, brother.
problem.
Thank you
Not a
so
problem.
much.
Good luck on your app, man.
Hey, man, I'm gonna be in contact with you, brother.